Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here on the channel, Charles Morris. We're already halfway through 2023 already. And out of all the videos that I've been making about these mass shootings that have been taking place, I can say I'm completely, I shouldn't say completely, but, I just get, tired about talking about these mass shootings that take place here in the United States, like video after video, and, it's just, it's frustrating. But what's also, very frustrating is that all the mass shootings that take place here in the United States, it just happens like mass shooting after mass shooting. It's like this hate-based murder doesn't even seem to like stop. Most of the time, these monsters' murder motives are going to be, out of, plain hatred for people. Like, it could be racism, it could be for over a person's religion, it could be, just about any kind of form of hate you can think of. And that's, it's sick, it's cruel, and as much as I hate to keep making video and video after all the mass shootings that go on here in the United States, I also can't help but, just get that word out there that these mass shootings are happening, and we're almost halfway from having 2023 being over, and we still have these mass shootings that just happen like almost every day. I mean, maybe not every day, but they happen like so often. And you know what happens when there's a mass shooting that captures, people's attention, and then there's like, why would it be wrong of me on my channel to actually, talk and discuss on this and, express my opinion about, what is actually happening here in America. I mean, I should be able to, bring that attention to the people who watch the channel. And any kind of mass shooting that goes on here in the United States is very, very serious. I mean, a lot of people take mass shootings very, very seriously, especially cops. Mauricio Garcia had been shot dead by a cop before he could continue his deadly killing spree. And Mauricio Garcia deserved to be shot to death because he was being a threat himself. The reason for Mauricio Garcia to die at the hands of a cop was because he was being a threat to everybody else. And the police there are there to protect people from dying, especially at the hands of a monster. So, that's that. And it's worth talking about. Every single mass shooting that happened here in the United States is worth talking about. Now I get tired of making video after video on this mass shooting stuff, but mass shootings that happen, they should at least be talked about and they should be discussed. And even if I scare my viewers in my videos and that stuff, well, you should be scared, because then mass shootings are scary. And if there's ever a time in my videos where I'm talking about this and that stuff, and I actually do end up scaring people and that stuff, well, being at the hands of a mass murderer monster out there, that is very, very scary. So I don't blame myself for actually scaring people on my video or here on the channel when it comes to talking about something scary happening. I mean, the reason why I scare people on some of my videos, or most of my videos most of the time, it's because I'm talking about something very, very serious. And the reason for me scaring people is just to capture people's attention on my channel and in my videos. So, I like to go back to talking about how bad 2023 is going so far. So, America has already reached the milestone of 200 mass shootings. This is getting to be such a great year so far. And here's the worst thing. People can't go out to malls anymore. They can't go out to like dance clubs. They can't go to like anything, any place that, where they could relax and, just ignore the world's problems for a few minutes. No. Not a lot of people can't do that anymore because there are monsters out there. Mass murderer monsters out there. Say, for example, if you were going to watch an NFL game and that stuff, somebody could actually be, I don't know, out of nowhere, maybe trying to use like some kind of a scoped weapon where they could actually like try to shoot you from like a very, very far distance. And then the game would have to be like, end up being canceled because there is the threat of somebody in the grandstands ended up getting shot by some monster who, this would be one of the worst ones right here. But let's say that some guy had some kind of motive for, just being either hating you for being colored, or just liking a certain NFL team. I mean, that'd be pretty crazy. And then the game would have to end up being canceled, because once there was like some blood that was coming out of the body of one of the guests that paid tickets to watch the game, who is bleeding bad over a gunshot wound. They could just, end up quitting that NFL game for that day and treat the wound of that guest that's bleeding bad, if this ever had happened. And then, that game might have to be, getting canceled, because there is like some kind of monster on the loose that's actually trying to shoot up people that are inside of an NFL stadium. And you know how big of a crowd NFL stadiums attract? You know how big of a crowd they attract? A very, very big crowd. So, monsters could end up targeting innocent lives at a football game, or some other game, like tennis match, hockey, basketball, you name it. Out of a lot of the mass shootings that happen here in the United States, they happened at public events. And public events have like large gatherings. And this is where these monsters think that they're going to score a bunch of kills. And most of the time they do it out of pure hatred for people. It doesn't matter how they hate. Hate is hate no matter what. And let me just say here, hate has no home here. I'm sure that doesn't even apply to some wannabe monsters out there. And if there wasn't a whole lot of mass shootings out here in the United States, I wouldn't be uploading a lot. But apparently, these monsters are still gonna continue to do these kind of hate-based murders or mass shootings, and there might not be a motive behind it. And sometimes it can happen without warning, and sometimes there are clues on monster social media pages that say that they're going to go and they're just going to end up, killing people. I mean, I'm exhausted from talking about mass shootings, after a while. And eventually I would just want to go back to uploading, like, you know, gameplay footage and that stuff, because I like to take a break from this. And probably what I'm going to be talking about last is the shooting that happened over in New Mexico. And that's probably where I'm going to start replaying gameplay videos again. And then probably like after a few months or whatever, then I'll go back to talking about mass shootings and the stuff that's happened in America. But so far, I can say 2023 is not looking to be one of the best years. And we're already halfway, we're already halfway through 2023, and it's looking to be a bad year already. I mean, most public places are just not going to be safe anymore because we have monsters on the loose that are seeking to kill innocent lives, and most of the time their motive is going to be hate-based murders, or or most of the time racism, or hatred on specific religious people, or Asian hate. That's most of what mass murderers would have a motive for, to kill people that they just absolutely hate. And hate's just too strong of a word. I mean, it kills. It really does. And any mass murders that these wannabe monsters commit in the future, when they commit this mass murder, these monsters are going to have one big price to pay in the end. Now, the weapon I could guess that most of them would use would be an AR-15. Most of the time, mass murderers that commit these kind of mass shooting crimes, most of the time, they're going to have to pay with their life. And that's normally what the cop wants. And it wouldn't be surprising if the cops actually had to take the action and actually shoot shooters down for being absolute monsters toward other people. And that would be the price that these monsters would get. Because if monsters want to be threats to other people, then if monsters still want to keep on killing innocent lives, then that is the price that they're going to have to pay with, and that is their life. Monsters may have to end up paying with their life and that's the one solution to keep everybody safe from getting shot. Once the monster is dead, once that mass murder monster is dead, it means that monster cannot continue to claim more lives over a gunshot that they have as a weapon or an AR-15. No, the monster is dead. They can't continue to keep on killing people because the shot that was fired by the cop has already gone into the monster's body and has completely killed that monster. And that monster has killed other people as well. So, if a monster kills, what difference would it be for a monster to end up getting killed by police? Police are there to protect people. And that's what a monster gets. When they kill a bunch of people, normally that normally ends in a result where the cop actually ends up having to shoot that monster dead. And then, you know what happens after that? Reports from police come out about the shooter, and then how did the shooter get his murder weapon, what time it happened, and where did it take place, and, you know, all that stuff. And then these news media or news sources start talking about this shooting that happened. And then, you know, not only do news sources talk about this and that stuff, but, you know, a lot of other people that have like a YouTube channel talk about this as well, because it's frustrating to see this happen. And a lot of people on YouTube, when they talk about this, is to get people aware of what is happening in America. And America needs to do better. And because this happened in the state of Texas, Governor Greg Abbott isn't going to do anything about gun violence. None of the Republicans would want to do anything about gun violence. And most of the time, it takes proper leaders to keep people safe. And that's all I want to say in this video. It's frustrating to talk about gun violence, but it's also frustrating to watch it happen on air. And it's also frustrating to watch gun violence on television. It's hard to watch people getting killed by the hands of mass murder monsters. And it killed people. Hate has no home here. And that's what I want to say in this video. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like what's said here, please comment, like, and subscribe to the channel, Charles Morse. And, you know, mass murders are just cruel and sickening. And to watch this happen just about often, maybe every day or every week, or however, how often it happens, it's so cruel and sickening to watch. And it's as sickening and cruel it is to watch, it's also frustrating to be talking about mass shootings that happen here in the United States. When there's a mass shooting that happens after mass shooting. When mass shootings just happen way too often, it just gets tiring to talk about it, but it's also good to be talking about what has happened so that people could get a good idea of what is happening here in America. This is Charles Morse. Have a good day. I will see you all in my next video.